What is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and welcome back to SpinTires Mud Runner. And this video, just so you guys know, is being filmed on my brand new PC build, which you guys are going to see a full video of, a full tour video of that later today. So make sure you stay tuned and come back later today to check that out. But we're going to be going ahead and taking a look at Smed's MOAB today. Now, this map I covered it quite a bit in the original game, but I'm going to go ahead and go back over it in Mud Runner because it's been updated with a few different things, a few different textures have been updated, as well as the garage spawn location has been changed to over here down by the racetrack, down at the start of the racetrack, instead of where it used to be, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was kind of up in this corner somewhere. I believe it was kind of right about here, which we'll go ahead and find that out in a bit, but we're actually about to turn around and head back that direction because the trail to get there looks pretty dang tricky, and I want to really see about pushing the limits of this crawler. Now, I have brought along Banks's Duramax, one of Banks's Duramaxes, but the only problem with it is it's not really made for this stuff. It's genuinely not really made for going out in the desert and rock crawling. It's more of a support rig, and the vehicle that we're in right now, the Mantis Crawler, is way better of an option for what we're doing than that Duramax. So let's go ahead and, ooh boy. See, with a map like this, it's different because you don't really have any trees. So you have these incredibly long lines of sight, but the game sometimes is like, I'm not used to this. It's almost like the game doesn't totally want you to have lines of sight that long, so it always acts a little funny and it puts this artificial fog there. But again, that's just kind of a bit of how this game works. But this map, I think, takes full advantage of what you can do when you set out to make a crawling map, because this reminds me of something you would see in, say, Gigabit Off-Road or like some other off-roading game that has desert maps, right? That's involved with, with desert driving, and because that's not at all represented in the base game, not whatsoever. But I mean, it's not the character of SpinTires, obviously, like of the SpinTires series or Mud Runner, but at the same time, there is a part of the community that loves this kind of environment and loves this kind of off-roading, that's very rock focused and crawler focused. And I think that this map does an amazing job of providing that for that niche of the community, and I am personally one of them. I love crawling up over rocks. I definitely prefer rocks over mud. There's just something, I think, to me that's more fun about getting up over a bunch of rocks, crawling up over a bunch of rocks than bombing through a mud hole. Now, that may be different from person to person. I mean, I know that there's people that, they don't care whatsoever about rocks, but I mean, if there's a mud hole involved, they'll be in. So it just depends on what kind of player you've got, what kind of person you are, what kind of off-roading you prefer. But let's go ahead and see if we can get down this hill unscathed, shall we? Okay. There we go. So this trail isn't too bad for this crawler. There's a lot of obstacles further on ahead, but I wanted to this is why I wanted to start out on this trail. And what I'll probably do is later on in the video, I'll show you guys the racetrack, and I'll use the Duramax for that, because the Duramax is quick enough, and it's quick enough to make use of the racetrack, and it's also like loose enough that, suspension wise, it's loose enough that it can move around a little bit and it can have, have a bit of a good time. Now, if I tried to bring it out here, oh my god, what the hell are what the hell are the wheels doing? That was really weird. I have never seen the wheels do that before. Now, a lot of this trail so far has been going down, and I think that there's a couple things with that are the fact that, okay, so this, if I'm not mistaken, is pretty much the old spawn location. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was right about here. Now, oh wait, no, yeah, it was here, because these trails like this was like the first thing you would come to when you originally started. Oh god. Like when you first started out, though, this was originally the first thing you would come to. Now, I wonder if I can go ahead and get up that hill without dropping a wheel, though. Sort of, kind of. Oh, fingers crossed. Come on. Come on. Yes. Yes, if you start to drop a wheel, just back up and try it again. Okay, yeah, I'm 100% sure now that this is where you start, because I remember this trail vividly. very vividly, actually. Curious to see how this thing stacks up. Okay. We may have to take the outside line, because if we take the outside line, we'll miss that rock, but I kind of don't want to miss that rock because I feel like that rock is part of that, like, part of this trail is involved with climbing that rock. So I'm going to try and hit it in high and see if it will, see if it'll put that wheel speed to use. Not terrible. Not terrible. Just jumps its way right up, frankly. Now, work our way to the left and then work our way back to the right. Ooh, that's sketchy. Come on, you've got this. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, God. Tipped a good bit. Let's not have that happen again. Yeah, this thing is definitely, like, it's a good crawler, but it's not easy mode. And that's kind of what I like about it, is that you do have to kind of pick and choose your lines when you drive it, because, like I said, it's not an easy mode vehicle. It's not like, oh, I can just point it at whatever I want and just go that way, you know what I mean? You have to really actually pick your lines more than you might think, having to go high and then drop the front axle down to try to get traction on the rocks, which sometimes works, because it worked earlier. But right now, it's not working as well as I thought it would, so let's see if we can kind of wiggle the... Oh, God! I was going to try and wiggle the rig around and see if we could use that to our advantage, but it looks like we may have to back up and reset. I love this technical crawling, though. It's so much fun. I was going to say, there's almost no way we're going to get it in the high range here. Oh, we got it. It doesn't have any traction, but we got... Oh, wait. Dude! Yes! Wheel speed for the win. Oh, my God. Yes. All right, we'll try this in low, and then if we can't make it in low, we'll hit it in high. First line did not work. Second line, it's just so steep. It's so insanely steep that... What? What? Dude! Oh my God! I did not think we were going to make it up that hill, or that rock. I did not think we were climbing that. That was a surprise, like, to me. That was crazy. Oh my God, that was crazy. Alright, so from here on out, we officially have a new testing ground for crawlers, because, like, when I had this in the original game, in the original SpinTires, I used it as a way to compare crawlers, right? I used it as a way to compare crawlers because I figured that if they could make it through here, they could pretty much make it through anywhere, because I haven't found any other map that's got crawling that's more technical than this, because it's so in depth, because like you're always climbing up a new obstacle. There's always another rock. There's always another incline. There's always another hill. And that dynamic basically forces you to... I'm gonna have to go back to the left. But that dynamic basically forces you to make the proper use of what's at hand and pick your lines carefully, because if you don't, you'll be tumbling back down the hill. Over and carefully step back down the side. Oh, God. That was really close. That was extremely close. I was gonna say, I was like, carefully step back down the other side, but you know what? Occasionally, you can only be so careful, and sometimes you have to just screw it and go for it, and that was one of those instances where we had to just say, screw it, I'm going for it. And we almost rolled over, but we didn't roll over, so that's what matters. Work our way up through the... Okay, that one would be easy to roll over on if we... Yep, we rolled over. Yep. Let's see if we can recall. I knew something would block the area. They absolutely hate rocks. Can we recall a UAZ? Yes, we can. Yes. This should be able to fix that thing right up. Right there I'll do. I'm just gonna bring it this way and then... maybe not. Maybe not bring it that way. Okay. I was like, okay, that might be a bad idea. Oh, no. Release. Release, please. Alright, so how about I push you? Oh, that works. Yes, that worked. Sweet. Now we can go ahead and turn this guy off, swap to the Mantis Crawler, and set off again. Now, putting it back into low because I feel like using automatic here is kind of dumb. Unless, well, unless you have a really good automatic gearbox. Which, oh, this is such an angle. Oh my god. This is gonna be slightly challenging because if you get it wrong, you're, oh my god. This is all about the close calls. This map is all about the close calls, man. Like, you're gonna have a few, no matter what you do, you're gonna have a few close calls when you come here. I don't care what you're driving. I don't care who's driving it. You're gonna have a few close. There we, yep. Oh yeah. Oh, I was about to say it was pretty close to making it all the way back over. But I'm gonna see if we can back this little guy up, turn it around, and oh, I don't know if we can get to the vehicle though. Let's see. Let's recall. Ah, blocking. All right. So let's head down that way. God, I don't know if this can make it over that. Oh, maybe. It's making tiny little bits of progress. It's just weird because it doesn't like... I mean, it doesn't like to get... Oh, there it goes. Oh, little UAZ, I will love you if you can do this. Oh, but it doesn't look like it can do it. Oh, God. Oh, God. Yep, it's gone. Ooh. That just looked like it hurt. Oh, my God. Yeesh, that just looked like it hurt. Holy hell. Recover in garage, please. Yes. 110% yes. And let's actually... take a look at the... Oh, that's that. Yeah. I was like, I actually had completely forgotten that it was sitting on its side like that. But I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the track real quick using the Duramax. And basically, this track is not super complicated. It's just got a lot of whoops. That's all. Like, that's the main ingredient for this track is like a ton of whoops. And if you, I mean, if you want to set off to like, if you want to drive this truck around this track, I mean, you could pretty much drive any truck around this track. I mean, there's not really anything that would prevent you from driving any truck around this track. I mean, there's no, like, jumps that require a certain amount of speed. There's actually, most of the jumps require you to let off. Otherwise, you'll nose in and catch the front of the truck and just roll over. So I highly recommend against doing that, obviously, because especially if you're racing a buddy, you will lose if you nose in and wreck. But it's just one of those things where you have to think to yourself, okay, I can either take this at, you know, 1,000,000 miles an hour and nose in completely, or I could take it at a little bit less than 1,000,000 miles an hour and land on my front tires and keep going. So, for those of you that drive flat out 100% of the time, unless it's a really slow vehicle, then of course, drive flat out 100% of the time. I mean, that's like the difference between, you know, like, I mean, let's think about this in terms of bikes. That's like the difference between riding a CBR 1000 and riding a Grom. Okay, so it's like, let's think about this in terms that, like, okay, so we've covered the bike people. Let's think about it in terms of car people. It's the difference between driving a Miata and driving a Koenigsegg. It's a big difference, right? So you're gonna, there's places in the Koenigsegg where you'll have to let off, where in the Miata you won't have to even think about letting off. So it's just one of those things where you have to adjust your driving to the truck that you're driving at that present moment in time around this track. So, but the interesting thing is, it's actually not that short of a track. It's a pretty long track, if I have to say so myself. And there's just this one little bit of rock right here that almost acts as like a launch ramp. And if you hit that too hard and you catch your rear axle on it, that will definitely send you nose down. So you do have to be careful of those. That's another one where it'll do it. I keep letting off before all of these jumps to try to set myself up properly. and most of the time it works. Not always, but most of the time it does work. So that's kind of the technique I can recommend if you do plan on racing this track. But the garage is there if you do also plan on racing and you want a place to recover and a place to get your truck repaired in case your truck doesn't have a repair kit. But that has been a quick overview of the refreshed version of Smed's MOAB in SpinTires Mud Runner. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, don't forget to leave me a like. Tell me in the comments down below what y'all thought of it. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more. And I will see you guys later. Talk to y'all next time. And don't forget to come back for my brand new PC tour video coming later today. See you guys later.